how much money do you have in your card? My husband suddenly asked me. After 8 years of marriage, he has never asked this question. Our AA system. His money is his and my money is mine. These are the fucking rules you set before you get married. I put down my chopsticks and looked at him. He didn't look at me, just lowered his head and picked at the rice in the bowl. Why do you ask this? He paused. It's okay, just ask. I said nothing, but I know something must be wrong with him. 1. My name is Lin Wan. I am 34 years old and have been married for 8 years. 8 years ago, Chen Yuman and I met at a friend's wedding. He is 2 years older than me and works in a state-owned enterprise. He is stable, honest, and neither smokes nor drinks. My mother said, this kind of man is down to earth. I think so. After a year of dating, we talked about getting married. The first time I went to his house, his mother Lin Guifan said at the dinner table, Yuman's salary is not high, and our family doesn't have much money. From now on, it is best for you two to live in an AA system, each taking care of his own business, and no one suffers. I was stunned for a moment. Chen Yuman was standing by to smooth things over. My mother is just afraid of quarreling over money in the future. AA is good and fair. When I think about it, that's right. AA is AA. I'm not here for his money. When I got married, the bride price was 60,000 yuan. My mother said it was meaningful, and I didn't care. I got married with a car worth 120,000 yuan, which was given by my parents. The wedding house was bought by Chen Yuman before his marriage, and it was written in his name. His mother said, this is our family's house. She didn't pay for it, so she can't add her name. I don't care either. It's made by AA anyway. I don't take advantage of you, and you don't want to take advantage of me. After marriage, we implemented it very thoroughly. He pays the mortgage and pays AA for water, electricity, and property. When buying vegetables and daily necessities, whoever buys them pays. When we go out to eat, sometimes he invites us, and sometimes I invite him. Most of the time, each pays his own way. When my mother found out, she was a little unhappy. How can a young couple live so separately? I said it's okay, it's fine, and I don't want to argue about money. At that time, I thought this was quite fair. But later I discovered that AA couldn't figure out some accounts. For example, when I was pregnant, I paid for the prenatal checkup myself. Chen Yuman said, I'll go with you, but you pay the money first, and we'll split it half and half later. I was pregnant at the time and didn't bother to argue with him, so I paid for it myself. Later I forgot to ask for it, and he didn't take the initiative to give it to me. When I gave birth to a child, I spent more than 20,000 yuan on hospitalization expenses plus red envelopes. Chen Yuman gave me 10,000 yuan and said, let's split this half and I'll pay half. I looked at the 10,000 yuan and suddenly felt something was wrong. It was me who gave birth to the child, it was me who received the knife, and it was me who lay in the hospital bed in pain for 3 days. He paid half. I didn't say anything and accepted it. After the baby was born, my mother came to take care of her during the confinement period. After staying for a week, Chen Yuman sent me a WeChat message. Your mother has been here for so many days. Should you transfer some living expenses to me? I stared at that WeChat message for a long time. My mother is here to serve me and take care of his children. He asked me for living expenses? That night, I had a fight with him for the first time. He said, we have agreed that AA, your mother will come to live in our house, and her food and accommodation will be at our house. Shouldn't you pay for her share? I was so angry that I couldn't speak. Finally, my mother stopped me. Forget it. Stop arguing. My mother transferred the money to him. 1,000 yuan. Is that enough? Chen Yuman accepted the money with no expression on his face. That night, I lay in bed, tossing and turning, unable to sleep. I suddenly remembered what my mother said before we got married. In the AA system, everyone is responsible for their own business and no one suffers. No one suffers. Why do I feel like I've always been the one at the disadvantage? But I didn't think too deeply about it. Life still has to go on. In the blink of an eye, a few years later, the child went to kindergarten. I paid half of the tuition and he paid half. I pay half of the interest classes and he pays half. If a child gets sick, the medical expenses will be split in half. I feel tired sometimes, but thinking about it, at least it's fair. Until a few days ago, his mother came. Lin Guifan rarely comes to our home in recent years. She lives in her hometown in the county and comes here once a year for the spring festival. He didn't talk to me much when he came. He only called me Shaolin and then whispered to his son. But this time, she came suddenly smiling. Wan Wan, are you busy with work recently? She called me Wan Wan. After 8 years of marriage, this was the first time she called me that. I was stunned for a moment. It's okay. Error 500, server error. 1500, that's an error. There was an error. Please try again later, that's all we know. I murmured in my heart. This old lady, what's going on? During dinner, Lin Guifan kept picking up food for me. Come on, Wan Wan, eat more. You are too thin, you need to take supplements. Chen Yuman watched from the side without speaking, but kept winking at his mother. I pretended not to see it. Error 500, server error. 1500, that's an error. There was an error. Please try again later, that's all we know. Lin Guifan followed me in. Wan Wan, Mom will do the work. You go and have a rest. I almost dropped the plate. Error 500, server error. 1500, that's an error. There was an error. Please try again later, that's all we know. Error 500, server error. 1500, that's an error. There was an error. Please try again later, that's all we know. Error 500, server error. 1500, that's an error. There was an error. Please try again later, that's all we know. I smiled and said nothing. Error 500, server error. 1500, that's an error. There was an error. Please try again later, that's all we know. Error 500, server error. 1500, that's an error. There was an error. Please try again later. That's all we know. In the evening, Chen Yumin came out of the shower and sat on the edge of the bed, hesitant to speak. What's wrong? I asked. It's okay, he said. Go to sleep. I turned off the light and closed my eyes. But I know it's not over yet. Really? Error 500, server error. 1500, that's an error. There was an error. Please try again later. That's all we know. How much money do you have in your card? 2. I didn't answer him. Why do you ask this suddenly? Chen Yumin hesitated. No, it's nothing. I just want to know about our family's financial situation. What's our family's financial situation? I looked at him. We AA, what's yours is yours. What's mine is mine. When did you start caring about my financial situation? He choked on me. Okay, no more talking. Let's eat and eat. I didn't ask any more questions. But I know it. There must be something wrong with him. Moreover, this matter must have something to do with his mother. In the next few days, Lin Guifan stayed at our house and asked about our welfare every day. Wan, what do you want to eat today? Mom will cook it for you. Wan, don't be too tired, take a rest. Wan, you and Yumin have such a good relationship. Mom is so happy to see you. I got goosebumps all over when she shouted. After 8 years of marriage, she has never been so enthusiastic to me. Something is wrong. Something is wrong. On the weekend, my mom called. Wan, is your mother-in-law at your house? Well, I've been here for a week. How does she treat you? I was stunned for a moment. It's okay. Quite enthusiastic. Enthusiasm? My mother's voice became louder. When has she ever been enthusiastic about you? You have to be careful. If you show courtesy for nothing, you will either rape or steal. I smiled. Mom, you think too much. I didn't think much about it. My mother said, I don't know about your mother-in-law yet. If she is nice to you, she must have a purpose. Just be careful. After hanging up the phone, I remembered what my mother said. Showing courtesy for nothing is either cheating or stealing. What on earth does she want to do? In the evening, Chen Yumin came to test me again. Error 500, server error. 1500, that's an error. There was an error. Please try again later. That's all we know. 15,000. Error 500, server error. 1500, that's an error. There was an error. Please try again later. That's all we know. Error 500, server error. 1500, that's an error. There was an error. Please try again later. That's all we know. He was a little embarrassed. I just asked casually. What exactly do you want to say? Nothing. He turned over. Go to sleep. I stared at his back and sneered in my mind. Error 500, server error. 1500, that's an error. There was an error. Please try again later. That's all we know. Okay. Error 500, server error. 1500, that's an error. There was an error. Please try again later. That's all we know. On the third day, Lin Guifan finally couldn't hold it in any longer. After dinner, she sat in the living room looking like she wanted to talk about business. Wan, come on, sit down. Mom wants to tell you something. I sat down. Chen Yumin also sat next to him, his head lowered and silent. That's right. Lin Guifan cleared her throat. As you know, it's not easy for Mom to be alone in her hometown these years. Error 500, server error. 1500, that's an error. There was an error. Please try again later. That's all we know. The house in my hometown is old and dilapidated. It's cold in winter and hot in summer. My mother is old and not in good health. She wants to change to a better environment. I continued to nod. So, Mom wants to buy a house in the city. She looked at me and smiled. Wan, you and Yumin have been married for so many years. You two should have saved a lot of money, right? My heart skipped a beat. Coming. What Mom wants is that you contribute some money to help Mom buy this house. From now on, Mom will live in the city, and she can also help you take care of your children and take care of the house. She took it for granted. It seems like this is a natural thing. I said nothing and looked at Chen Yumin. He lowered his head, not daring to look at me. Yumin, please say something, I said. Well, he hesitated. I think what my mother said makes sense. It's really not easy for her to be alone in her hometown. So what? So, do you think we can raise some money? I took a deep breath. How much? Lin Guifan answered. Mom has taken a fancy to a house in the city center, in a school district, 120 square meters, with a total price of 1.5 million. A down payment of 500,000 and a loan of 1 million. You will pay for the down payment. 500,000. She said it calmly. It's as simple as saying, get me a glass of water. I laughed. Error 500, server error. 1500, that's an error. There was an error. Please try again later. That's all we know. Call Mom. Okay, Mom. I looked at her. We have been married for 8 years, AA system. Are you the one who made these rules? Lin Guifan was stunned for a moment. Yes. The AA system means that everyone manages their own money and no one takes advantage of anyone else, right? Yeah, but this is different, Dash. What's the difference? I interrupted her. In the past 8 years, I haven't spent a penny of Yumin's money. Water and electricity property fees are AA, grocery shopping is AA, children's tuition fees are AA, and medical treatment is AA. Even when my mother came to take care of me during confinement, Yumin asked me for living expenses. Chen Yumin's expression changed. Lin Guifan is also a little unnatural. Now you tell me that you want me to give you 500,000 yuan to buy a house for you? I looked at her and said word by word. Where did you get your face? 3. Lin Guifan's face suddenly turned dark. What did you say? I said, Where did you get your face? I spoke calmly, but every word was clear. Won, how can you talk to mom like this? Chun Yumin was anxious. Why can't I? I turned to him. It has been 8 years. We have been married for 8 years. Who made the AA system? It was her. Who said the bride price was only 60,000? It was also her. Whose idea was it not to add my name to the wedding room? It was her. That's not. I'm not done yet. I interrupted him. I haven't spent a penny of your money in 8 years. When I gave birth to a child, the hospitalization fee was 20,000, and you transferred 10,000 to me and said I'd split it 50-50ths. I gave birth, I lay down, and the knife I received, you and I split it 50-50ths? Chun Yumin stopped talking. My mother came to take care of her during the confinement period and stayed for a week. You asked me for living expenses. 1,000 yuan. Do you remember? His face turned red. Also, my dad was hospitalized last year, and the surgery cost 80,000 yuan. I borrowed money from you. What did you say? You said, we AA, your dad's medical expenses are your family's business. That's not. What is that? I stared at him. My dad's business is my family's business, and your mother's business is our family's business? Are you an AA specifically to attack me? Lin Guifan couldn't help it. Wan, how can you say that? I am Yumin's mother. Am I not your mother-in-law? Isn't it right to be filial to your mother-in-law? Filial piety. I smiled. You want me to be filial? Okay. Then let me ask you, how have you treated me in the past 8 years? What did I do to you? When you came to live in our house, I paid for your food and accommodation. You didn't wash a single bowl or cook a single meal. When you left, you didn't even say thank you. Lin Guifan looked ugly. How much do I spend on clothes, gifts, and supplements every year when you come here during the Chinese New Year? Do you know exactly how much I spend? That's what you should dash. Why should I? I interrupted her. It's an AA system. Didn't we agree that everyone should do their own thing and no one will suffer? How can a family count like this? Lin Guifan said anxiously. When you marry Yumin, you become a member of our family. Your money is the family's money. Wait, I raised my hand. What did you just say? My money is family money. Yes. What about Chen Yumin's money? That's also from Home Dash. Really? I sneered. Then why did the house only have his name on it when we got married? Didn't you say that since he didn't spend my money, he couldn't add my name? Lin Guifan choked. The AA system is a rule set by you. I said carefully, you were afraid that I would take advantage of your family. Okay, I admit it. In 8 years, I have not taken advantage of you for a penny. Now you are telling me that you want me to pay 500,000. I looked at her and smiled. You want to take advantage of me? You dash. Lin Guifan was shaking with anger. Yumin, do you hear what she said is human? Chun Yumin was caught in the middle and was in a dilemma. Honey, don't get excited. Let's talk carefully. I'm not excited. I said, I'm calm. I know you have emotions, but my mother is old, and it's really not easy to be alone in my hometown dash. Isn't it easy? I interrupted him. Then buy it for her. You are her son. I don't have that much money. You have no money? I looked at him. Your salary is 12,000, which is less than mine. But you have been saving for 8 years, right? Where is your money? Chun Yumin hesitated and was speechless. You can't be. You haven't saved a penny, right? He lowered his head. Lin Guifan helped. Yumin's salary is low, and he still has to pay off his mortgage. Mortgage. I was stunned for a moment. Hasn't it been paid off? Didn't it say it was paid off last year? Chun Yumin said nothing. Chun Yumin, I raised my voice. Has the mortgage been paid off? He finally spoke in a low voice. No, there are still more than 300,000. More than 300,000? I couldn't believe it. Then what did you mean when you said it was all paid off last year? I'm afraid you have ideas. I laughed, an angry laugh. Okay. I nodded. You still have more than 300,000 yuan to pay off your mortgage, and you have no savings. And you too want me to give 500,000 yuan to buy a house for your mother? Let's go out together. Lin Guifan was still stubborn. How much money does your son have? I asked her. Lin Guifan was stunned. He has no money, right? Then I'm going to pay the 500,000 by myself. You are husband and wife. Husband and wife are one body dash. Husband and wife are one? I sneered. Why didn't you say husband and wife are one when the AA system was signed? Why didn't you say husband and wife were one when my name was not added to the house? When my mother came to live, and your son asked me for living expenses, why didn't you say husband and wife were one? Lin Guifan was completely speechless. The living room fell silent. I looked at the two of them and suddenly felt very tired. It's been 8 years. I think the AA system is fair. Now I know that this is never fair. This is the trap they set for me. I won't pay for the house. I stood up and spoke coldly. If you want to buy a house, let your son buy it. If he has no money, then don't buy it. It has nothing to do with me. You. Lin Guifan wanted to say something else. I'm tired. I'm going to rest. I turned around and went into the bedroom and closed the door. Lin Guifan's voice came from behind. She turned against her. Why do you keep a wife like this? Chun Yumin said nothing. I sat on the edge of the bed and looked out the window at the night. At this moment, I suddenly remembered what my mother said. To show hospitality for nothing is to be either an adulterer or a thief. Mom, you are right. 4. That night, I didn't sleep well. Chun Yumin entered the room very late. He stood by the bed, hesitant to speak. If you have something to say, just say it. Honey, he sat down. Are you too impulsive? My mother is old. Why do you care about her? Am I arguing with her? I sat up and said, Chen Yumin, please be clear. Your mother asked me to give her 500,000 yuan to buy a house for her. Do you think this is me arguing with her? I did not mean that. What do you mean? He hesitated. I mean, it's really not easy for my mother. Do you think you can think about it? Are you interested? I sneered. 500,000 is an excuse? Instead of 500,000, you can pay 200,000 to 300,000. Chen Yumin, I interrupted him. Listen to what you were saying. We have been in AA for 8 years, and I have not spent a penny of your money. Now you want me to give your mother 2 or 300,000 to buy a house. I'll pay you back. What are you going to pay back? I stared at him. You still have more than 300,000 yuan in mortgage loan, and you have no savings. What are you going to pay back? He was speechless. Chen Yumin, let me ask you. I took a deep breath. Where has your money gone in the past 8 years? He lowered his head. Explain. Give it to my mother? I was stunned. What did you say? My mother has been alone in her hometown these years, and I give her money every month. How much? 3,000. 3,000. 3,000 per month. 8 years. I did the math quickly. 8 years, 96 months, 3,000 per month. Nearly 300,000. You said there is more than 300,000 yuan left in the mortgage. My voice was trembling. Is it because you pay your mother every month that you can't pay it back? He doesn't speak. Yes or no? Yes. I closed my eyes. 8 years. I thought we were in an AA system where everyone manages their own money. It turns out that all his money was given to his mother. And my money, they want to take it now too. Lin Guifan has been asking for money from you all these years? It's not that. It's that I should be filial to her. Filial piety. I sneered. You give her 3,000, 300,000 yuan a month, and you call it filial piety. My dad is in the hospital, and I borrowed 80,000 yuan from you to work around, but you don't lend it, and you call it AA system. That's different dash. What's the difference? I yelled. Your mother is your mother, but my father is not my father? You should be filial to your mother, but if I care about my father, I am destroying the AA system. Chen Yumin was stunned by my yelling. I'm telling you, Chen Yumin, you know very well. Your AA system is aimed at me. You give your mother money, you can give it whatever you want. I give money to my parents, and you have to settle the score. I don't. You didn't. I sneered. Last year during the Chinese New Year, I bought a down jacket for my mother. It cost 2,000 yuan. What are you talking about? You said, why did you spend so much money without consulting me? His expression changed. You forgot? I didn't forget. That's not. You give your mother 3,000 a month and 36,000 a year. Have you discussed it with me? He was completely speechless. I looked at him and suddenly felt very sad. This is my husband. Husband of 8 years. Okay, let's not talk anymore. I lay down with my back to him. I won't pay a penny for the house. You can do whatever you want. Wife. Don't call me wife. It sounds disgusting to me. He stood there for a long time. Finally, he sighed and went to sleep on the sofa in the living room. The next morning, when I got up, Lin Guifan was already sitting in the living room. The way she looked at me was completely different from yesterday. Not the smiling enthusiasm, but a cold scrutiny. Are you up? Sit down, let me tell you a few words. I sat down. 1-1, I won't beat around the bush with you. She got straight to the point. I heard everything you said last night. I understand that you are angry at Yumin, but there are some things I have to make clear to you. I looked at her and said nothing. Yumin has given me money over the years, which is his filial piety. It is not easy for me to raise him and send him to school. He is now capable, and it is only natural that he should be filial to me. I still don't speak. But what about you? When you marry Yumin, you become a member of our family. I am your mother-in-law, and you should be filial to me. Is this the right thing to do? The truth. I finally spoke. What truth are you talking about? What's the truth? The truth in the world. Which daughter-in-law is not filial to her mother-in-law? I didn't say I was unfilial. I said, but being filial doesn't mean asking me to give you 500,000 yuan to buy a house for you. I don't want you for nothing. Write Yumin's name on the house, and it will also be yours from now on. Is it ours? I interrupted her. Or is it Chen Yumin's alone? Lin Guifan was stunned for a moment. Don't forget, when we got married, my name was not added to the wedding house. The original words you said were, she didn't pay for it, so she can't add her name. Now if you ask me to pay for a house, will the house have my name on it? She was speechless. Right or not? I asked. That's the house where I live. Write my name. Okay. I nodded. Write your name on your house. Then you can buy it yourself. You. My money belongs to me. I looked at her. AA system is the rules set by you. I abide by them. I stood up and went to the kitchen to get a glass of water. Lin Guifan's voice came from behind. What's the use of keeping this kind of daughter-in-law? Yumin, you should divorce her as soon as possible. 5. Divorce? I stood at the door of the kitchen holding a glass of water and sneered. Lin Guifan was still shouting in the living room. I'm telling you, this woman is not a good person. She has been married for 8 years and hasn't taken a penny from home. Now, asking her to contribute some money is like killing her. Chen Yumin whispered. Mom, please keep your voice down. Why should I keep my voice down? Lin Guifan's voice became louder. She is not filial. What's wrong with me saying a few words? Which daughter-in-law is like her? After so many years of marriage, she is not even willing to buy a house for her mother-in-law. I walked out and stood in the living room. You're right. Lin Guifan was stunned for a moment. I really don't want to buy you a house. I looked at her. Because it's not my obligation. You. If you're short of money, ask your son for it. He is your biological son. You raised him, and he should be filial to you. This is his business. You are husband and wife. Couple AA. I said, you set the rules. Lin Guifin was so angry that her face turned red. I haven't finished telling her. She turned to Chen Yumin. I tell you, you can't keep this kind of woman. Divorce her as soon as possible and find someone sensible. Mom. Stop, Mom. Lin Guifin slammed the table. Let me ask you, whose side are you on? Error 500, server error. 1500, that's an error. There was an error. Please try again later, that's all we know. Error 500, server error. 1500, that's an error. There was an error. Please try again later, that's all we know. Error 500, server error. 1500, that's an error. There was an error. Please try again later, that's all we know. Error 500, server error. 1500, that's an error. There was an error. Please try again later, that's all we know. Error 500, server error. 1500, that's an error. There was an error. Please try again later, that's all we know. Error 500, server error. 1500, that's an error. There was an error. Please try again later, that's all we know. He looked up. Whose side are you on? He opened his mouth but couldn't speak. Error 500, server error. 1500, that's an error. There was an error. Please try again later, that's all we know. I think we are all a family. If you have anything to say, please say it. Error 500, server error. 1500, that's an error. There was an error. Please try again later, that's all we know. Error 500, server error. 1500, that's an error. There was an error. Please try again later, that's all we know. Error 500, server error. 1500, that's an error. There was an error. Please try again later, that's all we know. Okay, if you don't say it, I'll say it for you. My voice was very calm. You stand with your mother, right? I don't. You do. I interrupted him. Chen Yumin, you have always stood by your mother. In the past 8 years, your mother has come to live in our house, and I have paid for food and accommodation. You take it for granted. My mother came to take care of the confinement, and you asked me for living expenses. Error 500, server error. 1500, that's an error. There was an error. Please try again later, that's all we know. My dad is in the hospital, and I borrowed money from you to work around, but you didn't borrow, so it was an AA system. You gave your mother 3,000 yuan a month for 8 years. You think it's filial. Error 500, server error. 1500, that's an error. There was an error. Please try again later, that's all we know. I'm not talking to you. She choked on me. Chen Yumin, let me ask you a question. I looked at him. Do you think it's fair? What? What's fair? AA system. I said, our AA system, do you think it is fair? He doesn't speak. Give your money to your mother, whatever you want, 300,000. I want to spend some money for my parents, and you have to ask, do you think this is called AA? I didn't ask. No. I sneered. Last year I bought a dress for my mother, and you nagged me for 3 days. The year before last, for my father's birthday, I bought a cigarette, and you said I was a waste of money. His face turned red. Chen Yumin, you don't call this an AA system. I said, you call it double standards. Your money is yours, and you can give it to whomever you want. My money is also mine. If I don't want to give it to anyone, I won't give it to anyone. This is called AA. I turned to Lin Guifin. If you want to buy a house, look for your son. He has no money. That's his problem. I won't pay for it. You dash, Lin Guifin was shaking with anger. Just wait. You will regret it. What do you regret? I looked at her. Do you regret marrying your son? I do regret it. Lin Guifin was completely speechless. I glanced at Chen Yumin. He lowered his head and did not dare to say a word. I suddenly remembered what he said at the wedding 8 years ago. I will take care of you forever. Take care of? He didn't even have the courage to stand by me. I'm going out. I picked up my bag and opened the door. Where are you going? Chen Yumin asked. Go back to my parents' house, I said, and relax. I walked out and closed the door. Lin Guifin's voice came from behind. Let her go. If she leaves, don't come back. I smiled and ignored her. 6. I returned to my parents' house, and my mother was watering the flowers on the balcony. When she saw me coming in, she was stunned for a moment. Why are you back? Didn't you say you're only free on weekends? I miss you. Come back and see you. My mother obviously didn't believe it. What happened? Fine. You're still lying to me. My mother put down the kettle and came over. Did your mother-in-law say something again? I was silent for a moment. She wants me to give her 500,000 yuan to buy a house for her. Error 500, server error. 1500, that's an error. There was an error. Please try again later, that's all we know. How many? 500,000. Is she crazy? My mother's voice rose an octave. Why should I ask you to pay? That is her son's business. That's what I said too. Then what? Then she scolded me for being unfilial and asked Chen Yumin to divorce me. My mother gasped with rage. This old woman, I knew she had bad intentions. I saw it when we got married. She was stingy and only had eyes for her own son. I said nothing. What did you say? Error 500, server error. 1500, that's an error. There was an error. Please try again later, that's all we know. Yes. My mother slapped her thigh. You shouldn't have done it. Who does she think she is? She hasn't given you a penny in 8 years of marriage, and now she has the nerve to ask you for 500,000. Mom. And aren't you from the AA system? Why does the AA system ask you to pay for her to buy a house? What about the person named Chen? What did he say? Error 500, server error. 1500, that's an error. There was an error. Please try again later. That's all we know. Don't talk. My mother sneered. He has nothing to say. He has no ability and cannot support his mother, so he just wants to take advantage of you. What's the use of keeping a man like this? Mom, I'm telling you on. You should think carefully about this marriage. You know how he treats you after 8 years. Some people are not worth your life. I said nothing. Yes, 8 years. How does he treat me? I remember many things. I remember when I was giving birth, I was lying on the hospital bed, and he was sitting next to me playing with his mobile phone. I remember when my mother came to take care of me during confinement, she asked me for living expenses. I remember when my dad was in the hospital, I borrowed money from him to make ends meet, and he said, "Your dad's business is your family's business." I remember that every time I went to his hometown during the Chinese New Year, I would be busy washing dishes and cooking while my mother would sit on the sofa and watch TV without even saying thank you. It's been 8 years. What did I pay? What did I get? Mom, I said, I figured it out. What do you want to understand? This marriage. I took a deep breath. I have to think about it carefully. My mother was stunned for a moment, then nodded. Just think about it carefully. No matter what you decide, Mom will support you. She patted my hand. You decide your own life. That night, I was lying on my mother's bed, unable to sleep. The phone keeps ringing. Chen Yumin sent more than a dozen WeChat messages. Honey, where are you? When will you come back? My mother doesn't speak nicely, so don't be as knowledgeable as her. Honey, please say something. Error 500, server error. 1500, that's an error. There was an error. Please try again later. That's all we know. Wife. I looked at them for a long time and didn't reply to any of them. Later, he called. I hesitated and accepted. Hello. Honey, are you at your parents' house? When will you come back? Have no idea. Honey, don't be angry. My mother is like that. She is old, so don't argue with her. Error 500, server error. 1500, that's an error. There was an error. Please try again later. That's all we know. Let me ask you a question. You say, what do you think if I don't pay the 500,000? He was silent for a moment. I can understand. Do you understand? I sneered. What do you understand? Do you understand why I didn't come out? Or do you understand why your mother asked me for it? Error 500, server error. 1500, that's an error. There was an error. Please try again later. That's all we know. Tell the truth. He was silent again. Long time. Honey, actually, I think if you have money, it's not impossible to have an idea. I was stunned. What did you say? I mean, you still have it anyway, so if you have nothing to do, you have nothing to do? I hung up the phone. Hands are shaking. I see. From the beginning to the end, he felt that I should pay for it. He just didn't dare to say it. I closed my eyes, tears streaming down my face. It's been 8 years. The man I married turned out to be this kind of person. 7. The next day, I didn't go back. Chen Yumin continued to send WeChat messages and make phone calls. I ignored it. My mother asked me, what are you going to do? Calm down for a few days. Okay, you can do whatever you want. I stayed at my parents' house for 3 days. In 3 days, I thought a lot. Think about how I spent these 8 years. I wonder what went wrong in my marriage with Chen Yumin. After thinking about it, I found that the problem existed from the beginning. Made in AA. Before getting married, I thought the AA system was fair. Now I understand that the AA system is never fair. The AA system was a set they set for me. They were afraid that I would take advantage of them, so they made rules and everyone managed their own money. But this rule only binds me, not him. He gave his mother money, 300,000, no problem. When I spend money on my parents, he'll take care of me. My mother is here to live, and I'll pay for food and accommodation. My mother came to live and asked me for living expenses. Is this called the AA system? This is called bullying. On the 4th day, Chen Yumin came. He drove to the downstairs of my parents' house and called me to come down. Honey, let's talk. I glanced out the window and saw his car parked downstairs. What's there to talk about? You haven't answered my calls these past few days. I'm very worried. What are you worried about? Are you worried that I won't go back? I'm worried about you. He said, honey, don't be angry. I will tell my mother. Let's not talk about the house. Don't mention it. I sneered. Your mother agreed? He was silent for a moment. She is still angry, but I will tell her. Chen Yumin, can you please stop lying to me? I don't. You didn't. I interrupted him. Did you call your mother again last night? Did she tell you again that I had to pay, or else we would get divorced? He stopped talking. Did you agree to her? Did you tell her that you would find a way to convince me? He still didn't speak. Chen Yumin, you are really boring. My voice was very calm. If you want me to pay, just say so. Don't pretend to be a good person to me while making promises to your mother. I don't. You haven't? Then tell me now, do you think I should pay for your mother's house? He was silent. Say it. I tell the truth. He finally spoke. Wife, listen to me. It's really not easy for my mother. She is alone in her hometown, and her health is not good. I want to buy her a house so that she can live more comfortably, but I have no money, and I can't even pay my mortgage. So what? So, can you help me? Instead of 500,000 yuan, you can provide 200,000 yuan, and I will find a way for the rest. I laughed. Chen Yumin, do you know what you're talking about? You asked me to give 200,000 yuan to buy a house for your mother. Then what? Whose name is on the house? Right about my mother. Okay. I nodded. Write your mother's name on your mother's house. What does that have to do with me? Honey, don't be like this. We are husband and wife. Couples? I interrupted him. Couples are in the AA system. Have you forgotten? The AA system is the AA system, but on major matters. What do you mean it's a big deal? I sneered. It's a big deal for your mother to buy a house, but it's not a big deal for my dad to be hospitalized. When my dad had surgery, I borrowed 80,000 yuan from you. What did you say? You said, that's your family's business. He was speechless. Chen Yumin, what are your standards? Your mother's affairs are big things, but my parents' things are small things? If your mother needs money, I have to pay for it. If my parents need money, you hide? I didn't hide. You didn't hide? Then let me ask you, did you lend me the 80,000 yuan my dad received when he was hospitalized? He lowered his head. Chen Yumin, the AA system is a rule set by your family. I said word by word. You were afraid that I would take advantage, but now I continue not to take advantage. You buy your mother's house yourself. I won't pay a penny. Wife. Also, I interrupted him. Don't call me wife. It sounds disgusting to me. I hung up the phone. Outside the window, his car was still parked there. There was a long pause. Finally, drove away. 8. After Chen Yumin left, I thought things would come to an end. Unexpectedly, Lin Guifin came in person the next day. She found out the address of my parents' home from somewhere and came straight to my door. Dong dong dong. My mother went to open the door. As soon as the door opened, Lin Guifin rushed in. Lin Wan, come out. I walked out of the room. Hey, my mother-in-law is here. My mother said with a smile, what kind of wind brings you here? Lin Guifin didn't even look at her, just stared at me. Lin Wan, what's the point of hiding in your parents' house? If you have the guts, tell me clearly in person. What's clear? It's about the house. Lin Guifin slapped the table. Will you pay for it or not? Not coming out. You dash. She was so angry that she was shaking all over. Do you have to force our old Chen family to a dead end before you are willing to do it? Push to a dead end? I laughed. Auntie, you are exaggerating. Isn't it just to buy a house? Your son will give you 3,000 yuan every month. You can save it. Can't you save it for a few years? How many years? Lin Guifin's eyes widened. I'm 60 this year. How many more years can I wait? That's your problem, I said. It has nothing to do with me. Why doesn't it matter? You are my daughter-in-law. Does a daughter-in-law have to buy a house for her mother-in-law? I looked at her. Which law stipulates this? Lin Guifin was choked. Besides, I continued, you know how you have treated me in the past 8 years. What did you give me on my wedding day? You gave me a set of bedding, I said. A 4-piece set, 398 yuan. The tag is still on it. I remember it clearly. Lin Guifin's expression changed. How much did you pay for your son's marriage? 300,000 down payment, 150,000 for decoration, and 100,000 for home appliances. A total of 550,000. That's for my son. Yes, that is for your son. I interrupted her. It is only natural that you spend money on your son. But why do you think I should spend money on you? Lin Guifin was speechless. Also, I continued, in the past 8 years, how many days have you stayed at our house? 3 months. I paid for the food and accommodation for 3 months. Have you ever washed the dishes once? Have you cooked once? I came to see my grandson. Looking at your grandson? I sneered. When you were looking at your grandson, he was in kindergarten. You were watching TV at home, eating melon seeds, and waiting for me to get off work to cook. Is this called looking after your grandson? Lin Guifin's face turned red. My mother couldn't listen anymore. Okay, mother-in-law. My mother said, if you have nothing else to do, please come back. Our family doesn't have 500,000 to buy a house for you. You. Lin Guifin turned to my mother. Why do you speak? I'm Wan's mother. Why can't I speak? My mother said